You read the lyrics? Those songs?
We talked about a love story.
Right. We talked about how it's a love story. Did you already write it down?
Yeah, we're done.
I have my stuff here.
Okay.
Sorry. So we talked about how it was a love story, right? But we talked about a couple other things. Can anybody raise their hand and tell me what those things were? What countries did we talk about?
China?
Yeah.
Oh, about how was that in Egypt, right?
Just like right here?
Yeah.
No, we talked about how Aida, the opera, was an Italian.
Just over here on
right?
the side?
Yeah.
Right. It was written by an Italian composer.
Oh, I mean, there's all the same thing.
And what?
But...
Nubia? Right, and that's the country that no longer exists. It was kind of south of Egypt, right? And then in the opera, what country did we talk about? Starts with an E. Right. Okay, so the setting is Egypt, but then the opposing country was Nubia in the musical and Ethiopia in the opera, right? And what's going on? There's a love story, but what kind of love story is it? What did we compare to it yesterday? Romeo and Juliet, right? Why did we compare it to that?
It was like the same because two people from different sides of like when they were found in love.
Right. So their two countries are at war, right? But they fall in love despite that. So what Sarah said yesterday was that love triumphs over all. That's kind of one of the underlying themes. Okay? So what we're going to do is you have the synopsis, which is a summary of the opera, which is the first one, and then the musical second. And I want you to read through them, and just individually right now. And I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to do that. So, and think about the similarities and differences between the two. Okay? What happens in the middle? Anyone?
Aida becomes a slave.
Well, she comes to Egypt as a slave, right? Because she is in there as a slave at the beginning, which is how it comes to know her.
She was almost that in the compromise.
She what?
Almost that in the compromise.
Almost out of the compromise. Okay, but that's not really the middle. Think about the middle. We're talking about it over here at the table. So, and Maris and Radames are going to get married. Okay? Try to write thicker so you can read. Is that better? Is it bigger? Sorry. I'm going to write they were engaged. So, we were talking about the conflict, right? So the conflict is what? Since they're engaged, anyone have this? Well, Amneris and Radames are engaged. She wants to get married, right? Because she loves him.
Oh, but Radames wants to marry Aida.
Right, he loves Aida, right? So there's the conflict. And that's a problem because we talked about how it's Romeo and Juliet like, because they're, why? Sorry, it'll come back on. Because Aida loves Radames, and Amneris loves Radames, but Aida and Radames are from different countries, right? And the countries are at war, so there's the conflict. Okay. Okay, so what do we think is the climax? You know, there's that thing where somebody gets mad about Aida and Radames being in love. just pointed out to me, that back table, that thing where someone is mad about them being in love. The thing with Zoser, who was Radames' father. Yeah.
He orders his men calling Aida to be killed.
Right, he orders Aida to be killed, which is a big deal because Aida, most people don't know that she is the princess of Nubia, but she is, so. Okay, what about the end? We just talked about this. We talked about it was the same in the opera and the musical. They got buried alive. Why? Who ordered that?
Dad. Or
Who's that?
the Radames.
Well, no.
Andres.
Amneris is dad, right? Who's that big important guy in Egypt? The Pharaoh. Okay. And then what happens in the very last scene? Talk about it only happened in the musical. Yeah. They're reincarnated. Okay. And what did we say was the theme of this musical, both the opera and the musical? Sarah said it the first day we were talking about this.
Love can triumph
Love can what?
triumph over anything.
Triumph over everything, right? So we're gonna write that under resolution or an idea. Does that make the story clearer to everyone? I know it was a lot of reading for you to do, and didn't want you to be totally confused. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah.
Who is Merib?
Merib was a slave in the palace in Nubia. So he worked for Aida when she lived back in Nubia. What?
The boy?
It's a boy. So he recognizes her first in the musical. It's like, oh, you're the princess, and she's like, don't tell anybody because it's a big deal and they'll probably kill me. Any other questions?